Hey everybody, Ralph Covert here. For those of you that don't know me, I had a rock and roll band in the 90s called The Bad Examples and a kids music project in the 2000s called Ralph's World. I'm a Grammy nominated singer-songwriter performer, written musicals and books and many albums and played lots of concerts. And at the core of what I do is songwriting. And that's what I'd like to talk to you about. I'd like to teach you about songwriting. I know a lot of fun stuff I can share with you. Now, at its core, the most important thing that you need to be a songwriter is what I call your Songwriter Compass. Now, have you ever listened to two songs back to back and liked one song more than the other song? Well, of course you have. And that's because you have your own Songwriter Compass. It's a little voice inside you that says, I like that, and I don't like that thing as much. Now, if I was able to really, truly get that idea across to you, then you wouldn't need to watch any other of my videos or anything else. You could figure out everything you need to know about songwriting just by trusting your Songwriter Compass, by trusting that voice that you have. You're still watching? Okay. Then I guess I know lots of tricks, I know lots of tools, and I'm going to share as much of that with you as I can and as much as you're interested in learning. Let's start with kind of the general overview of the song and writing a song. I look at a song, the process of writing it, with three basic stages. There's starting a song, there's finishing a song, and there's everything in the middle. And really that kind of covers it, you got to admit. So let's look at that stuff in the middle. If you break it down to its most basic elementary level, its most granular level, you're really doing the same action again and again and again and again. You know, every time you are playing a chord or adding a melody, thinking about a word, what word goes here, what do I sing here, what's the rhythm, what am I feeling? All of those decisions, all of those things you're putting together in the song, at the most granular level, you're just making choices. Just making a single choice, and then another single choice, and then another single choice. And every time you do that, you're just exercising your Songwriter Compass. You know, that voice inside of you that says, I like that, and I don't like that one as much. So what happens is every time you come across something that you don't like the choice that you've made, you change it. Try a different choice until you find one that your Songwriter Compass likes. So really, at its most basic level, that's all you're doing, is just trying different things until all the different pieces are cool and to your liking. And that's why every songwriter has their own unique voice, because what you like is different than what I like. We may like a lot of similar things, but we like different things too. That's the middle part. Now, how do you know when a song is done? How do you know when a song is finished? A lot of people will say, oh, a song's never finished. You can always change it. You can always do more. But I disagree with that. I think you know a song is finished when you can play it from beginning to end, and your Songwriter Compass likes it the whole way through. Because if you liked the song all the way through, then why would you change it? And if you're playing it and there's something you're like, I don't know about that, well, it's easy. Just make a different choice there. Keep on tweaking things until you find all the choices that you like. As we explore this process more, I'm going to give you a deeper, richer tool bag or paint box of a lot of the choices you can make, right? But ultimately, it's the choices that you like that allow you to get there. Now, starting a song is the one piece that's left here. And that kind of gets us to a different part of the conversation. I believe there's a whole broken language about creativity, about songwriting, kind of a whole vocabulary of false assumptions that have been handed down to us and taught to us that really distract us and really get in the way of the process. And over the course of my videos, I'm going to really dig into a lot of the pieces of that and try to share some of my ideas that maybe give you a new paradigm, a new way of looking at creativity. Let's take a couple really basic ones that'll allow us to break down this idea of starting a song. you've heard of the phrase, follow your muse, ideas like being inspired. These come from this historical and I would say false assumption about creativity. The Greeks, ancient Greeks and ancient Romans, used to believe in some demigods, some mid-level gods called the Muses. You've probably heard the phrase, as we just said, follow your muse. Well, what's a muse? The muse is one of these gods of creativity. They had all the ideas. And the way that the ancients believed that it worked was the muses would they lived like halfway up Mount Olympus, and they had this pot of ideas. They dig in, kind of make a little snowball, if you will, or they throw it down at you from the mountain. Come on down, and the idea would come to you. But think about that. Even in the language of that, it's passive. The idea comes to you. It's the same concept as to be inspired. The etymology of the word inspire is to be filled with the Spirit. So it's a passive thing where the ideas are coming to you from the gods, from outside. And sometimes, I admit, sometimes songs seem like they leap full-blown from your brain. But I'm just saying, for me, waiting around for some 2,000-year-old Greek gods to give me the ideas, I like a little more control than that. So I came up with an idea that I call the jumping off point. So basically, anything could be the germ of your song. It could be a chord, it could be a word, it could be a melody like a chord. So there's some rhythm and just I grabbed an E chord there, right? Or there's a couple of C chord and D chord. Just grab a chord or grab a melody. How about da 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 and then grab something random, microphone. I've got one right here. So, microphone. I've got one right here. Microphone. It's about the shape of a beer. I don't know, it rhymed. So, a jumping off point. Just take any random idea, anything, a chord, a word, a melody, a rhythm, an emotion, and go with it. And then you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to like it, in which case you keep it, or you're like, not so much, in which case you try something different. And if you like it, then you add more to it and go from there, and all of a sudden you're into that middle process. Okay? So, to recap, in this first lesson, we talked about the idea of Songwriter Compass, talked about how to begin, work on the middle, and finish a song. And we started the beginning of our discussion about false assumptions and kind of the broken language of creativity. In our next lesson, I'm going to look at the four major parts, as I see them, of a song. And I'll give you some general ideas about music, words, rhythm, and emotional center. And we'll start diving into the tools and diving into the process of our songwriting. Happy writing. Thanks for watching. And make sure you like my page, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much.
Maybe we don't belong together. I won't tell if you won't worry. There's time enough for time